Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Zane and today we're having a look at XPeng. Now XPeng is a Chinese electric vehicle maker. So this time of year actually marks 1 year anniversary of going public. Now XPeng is a new name in the US, it's new in Europe, but it's actually not quite new in China. It was actually founded in 2015 by former Alibaba executive Xiaoping He and auto industry veteran Heng Xia. Now the objective of XPeng is to build smart electric vehicles that are intended to compete in the US market, in the Chinese market, and to compete in Europe as well. Now in China, XPeng actually has a fierce amount of rivalry because XPeng has to compete with NIO, progressive and successful electric car manufacturer that is extremely well known in China. And I do believe that NIO is the largest electric vehicle manufacturer in China. That's apart from Tesla and obviously XPeng. Now ideally, XPeng would like to compete with Tesla's lower price offering such as the Model 3 and the Model Y. That's an SUV crossover. And the Model 3 is a sedan that starts at 30 grand in the US and about 40,000 pounds in the UK. If I can buy a Tesla Model 3 in the US for 30 grand, my 30 grand in the UK is worth less than 25,000 pounds. So this is unfair because if I want to buy the same car in the UK, I have to find an extra 15 grand just to be able to come close to the price of around 40,000 pounds. 40,000 pounds is more than 50 grand in the US. That can get me a Tesla Model 3 and I'll still have $20,000 left over. So what I do hope is that companies like XPeng, companies like NIO, when they do come to the UK, I hope that they can be a bit more fair with the pricing of their vehicles. I hope that the vehicle cost in China will be the exact same amount in pounds. Now in Tesla's mind, they probably charge us a lot more in the UK because of the exporting fees. They got to get the car to the UK and then sell it to us, and that can be quite expensive. But it's still a huge shock for me that Tesla hasn't announced plans to build a factory in the UK. Now XPeng's two models, the G3 crossover and the P7 sedan, are similar in concept to the two Teslas in that they're upscale electric vehicles with good range and advanced driving assistance features. This probably includes lane assist and some assistance in autopilots in your vehicle, but they differ in some important ways. Notably, the XPengs are tuned to provide comfort rather than performance, with a safer ride and a push on luxurious interior that are the company's claim better suited to the Chinese driving condition. These vehicles were not just built for the Chinese market, but they were built for the Chinese people, what they specifically like, what they specifically need. Now both vehicles are in production. The G3 since November 2018 at the contract manufacturing plant owned by established automaker Hymer. Hymer's plant can produce up to 150,000 vehicles per year, and XPeng's new factory plant can build up to 100,000 per year. Now as of July 31st, this was last year in 2020, XPeng had delivered a total of over 18,000 vehicles, over 18,000 G3s and 1,900 and over 1,900 P7s to customers. Now the company has no plans to export its vehicles to the United States, for now at least. But honestly, I can seriously see this being adopted quite soon. Notably, in recent news, XPeng exports flagship P7. This was a great strategic plan by XPeng because Norway has one of the highest density for electric vehicles in the world. More than half the vehicles in Norway are sold are electric vehicles, and that's just by a rough estimation. This is a market they could not wait to explore and to be a part of to get their own share of the market. Now the startup said it exported the P7 cars on Tuesday, 8 months after its G3 SUVs were delivered to customers in Nordic country. The export model of the P7 is fitted with a feature tailored for the local condition, including a combined charging system port. This is made to meet European standards. Now this plan of going to Norway, this actually gives them a huge boost to the company's plan to go global. Long term, they want to go global. That is the plan, that is the ambition. Slowly you go to the countries that require electric vehicles more, the markets that are the biggest market. You take a direct hit at the markets that require more electric vehicles, such as Norway. Now XPeng has specifically said that the P7 saloon car will be delivered to customers in the Nordic country. Now XPeng is listed in New York and London Stock Exchange. Now China's leading smart EV builders are aware that of the necessity of winning orders from foreign customers. The global demand for high-end smart electric vehicles is huge, and it's growing every day, and it's only going to get bigger over time over the next decade. Over the next 1 and 2 decades, the electric market is going to grow exponentially, incredibly huge. For any upcoming electric vehicle manufacturers, they should not and cannot afford to lose out on this global opportunity. Now that was some quick news in the case of XPeng. It's great that they're coming to Europe and they're going to Norway. It's a great place to start selling your electric vehicles. Now I'd like to have a look at the share price of XPeng. Now before we go further into this, let me just declare it's not financial advice. This video is specifically for entertainment purposes and for educational purposes. Now in the last 3 months alone, XPeng has went from a price of around $29.38 to an all-time high of around $45 US. Right now it currently sits at $40 US.39. Now here you can see the shares that are outstanding. That is 650 million shares. Not to mention there's 607 million shares that are public float. This is what's available for the public to be bought. So if you wanted to buy the company in total, you can buy 51% of their shares and take over the company if you so wish to do so. Market cap wise, it's around 30 billion in market cap. Now that's quite impressive considering where the share supply is. Now if you take a look at its closest competitor, which is NIO, currently sits at $39 US per share. You must understand, NIO has a lot more shares in outstanding and in public float, a lot more share supply. That's the first thing to understand. And another thing is that NIO has a much bigger market cap. Their market cap is almost twice as big as XPeng. So naturally, NIO is the bigger company, but XPeng is a direct competitor. So NIO is clearly doing much better at this time. That's no secret. But it's also nothing to be ashamed of if you're a fan of XPeng or you're a fan of NIO. It simply means that these companies are doing different things and they're moving quite differently. But that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing because that will prove to be beneficial to each company. Each company is doing what's best for that company specifically. Every company differs, therefore the strategy of running said company should differ as well. Now a big question for me is how much is the shares being shorted? For anyone who don't know what share shorting is, there's plenty of videos on YouTube that can explain it to you. It's basically a way of big investors predicting if a company will go down in value. They borrow shares from providers, they wait until the shares drop in value and they return the shares at a lower price and they keep their profit, they keep the remaining funds. But companies do this all the time and sometimes it backfires majorly. Because there was a lot of shorting in GameStop shares. And meme investors online decided to drive the share price up, which means that everyone shorted those shares. They had to return to the provider but with an increase in price. So how much is the share being shorted at this moment? That's a rough estimate, around 16 million shares that are shorted as of July the 29th this year. Now these figures are not 100% correct, but I'll say these figures are around 80 to 90% correct, because you can clearly see that the shares outstanding on Yahoo Finance is 851 million. Now in other news for XPeng, this is huge. These are the numbers. This is what tells you if the company is rising year by year and by how much the company is actually rising in value. Now XPeng announced vehicle delivery results for July 2021. Their record currently sits at over 8,000 vehicles delivered in July 2021, a record month with 228% increase year over year, because their production and sales of vehicles have increased by over 2 times as much, 228%. That's amazing. Now, if you look into the numbers even more, that's over 6,000 P7s delivered in July 2021, the highest monthly delivery since the P7's launch. Now, the P7 vehicle is the sedan. It's a direct competitor towards Tesla's Model 3 sedan. Now, on another note, there's been over 38,000 total vehicles delivery year to date, a 388% increase year over year. That's almost 4 times as much increase year over year. Back in early September, just after August, the 1-year anniversary is upcoming, the share price was just around $19 US, 20 to 19 US dollars. It immediately had a huge rise to $58 by November the 1st. The price has dropped over time, but it's never dropped to the price that it started at, around 20 US dollars. It's around 29 US dollars, and this was April this year. So it's fair to say that when they came into the market, their company was undervalued. Now their company value in terms of shares and market cap is actually twice as much as it was when it first launched 1 year ago. So this huge growth in vehicle delivery, this huge growth in vehicle sales, this is having direct impact in the company's success on the stock market. Now to get in even more detail, XPeng records its highest ever monthly delivery of over 8,000 smart EVs. This is representing a 228% increase year over year. But more interestingly, it's a 22% increase over the last month. This simply means from the month of June to the month of July, they've increased their vehicle sales by 22%. But the thing that I wonder is that there isn't any exact figures on how much money they spend on advertisements. You got to remember, companies like Tesla do not advertise. They don't waste money on advertisements. Because for Tesla, despite not advertising their vehicles, they actually cannot keep up with the demand for their vehicles, despite not advertising their vehicles. So imagine if they did advertise their vehicles, they'd have a lot more demands that they simply cannot fulfill in time. These companies, they don't have the power that Tesla holds, and they don't have the social power or the social media. So Tesla is standing head and shoulders above these companies, not just in vehicle deliveries, but in the trustfulness of the people who follow these companies. If there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments, and if there's anything you'd like me to go into more details about. But overall, it's been really nice to make this video, so thank you for watching, subscribe, and of course I will see you in the next video speaking about any given topic on XPeng and any other electric vehicles. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.